The night was quiet on the human colony farm. The stars above were shining like silver dust. The wind was gentle, carrying the smell of earth and animals. The farmer thought it would be another simple evening. Nothing strange, nothing dangerous. Just the sound of pigs in the pen and the cattle moving slowly in the field. But then, from the far edge of the dusty road, a figure appeared. Weak, shaking, moving step by step as if every step was pain. The farmer narrowed his eyes, wondering who would come so late. In the pale light he saw a tall, thin woman, her skin a strange color that shimmered under the moon, and beside her, holding her hand tightly, was a small child with wide, frightened eyes. The farmer froze, because he knew at once they were not human. They were alien, outsiders. The kind people whispered about but rarely saw so close. And now here they were, standing right at his gate. The woman's voice broke the silence. It was shaking, desperate. Her words rushed out like water from a broken jar.
"I'll even wash your pigs. Just let my child into your farm," she begged.
Falling to her knees, her hands pressed together, her eyes shining with tears, the farmer's heart jumped, because he had never seen anyone beg like this, not even humans and certainly not an alien. Her body trembled as if she carried fear heavier than stone. Her clothes were torn, her face scratched, and her child clung to her like he was holding on to life itself. The neighbors, who lived not far, noticed the strange voices and lights. They came to the road, whispering, pointing, staying behind fences. They too saw the alien woman and child, and they too heard the strange plea, "I will work, I will clean. I will do anything, only please let my child into your farm. Let him be safe," the woman cried, her voice breaking again and again. The farmer's wife stepped out, holding a lantern high. The golden light fell on the alien woman's face, and for the first time she saw the fear there. The fear of a hunted animal. The fear of a mother about to lose her child. The child, small and quiet, looked around with eyes too big for his face. His hands were trembling. He pulled at his mother's arm, whispering something in a language the humans did not understand. But the tone was clear. It was the tone of a child saying, "Mama, I am scared," the farmer's wife gasped softly. Because even though she could not understand the words, she could feel the pain in them. The farmer felt a strange heaviness inside his chest. He had heard stories, yes, that aliens were dangerous, that they could not be trusted, that humans should never take them in. But this woman, this child, did not look dangerous. They looked broken, tired, desperate. Still, he asked with a hard voice, trying to hide his shaking heart, "Why my farm? Why here? What do you want?" The alien woman lifted her face. Her eyes were glowing faintly. But in those eyes was no anger, no hate, only fear and hope mixed together. "They will take him, they will kill him. They will destroy him because he is different. Please, your farm is far. It is safe. I will wash your pigs, I will clean your house. I will be your servant, only let him live here. Let him breathe safe air." The farmer did not answer. His hand gripped the wooden gate. His mind filled with questions. Who were they? Why was she so sure her child would be destroyed? What danger followed her here? The night air grew heavy, and suddenly, a sound drifted from the distance. A low hum, like machines, like engines. Moving slowly, searching, the farmer felt his skin crawl. The neighbors whispered louder, fear in their voices. They too heard the sound. The alien woman's head turned sharply. She knew that sound. Her body shook harder. She pulled her child close and whispered fast in her own tongue. The child buried his face in her chest, his small shoulders shaking. The farmer's wife touched her husband's arm, her voice soft but urgent. "Something is wrong. She is running from someone, can't you see?" The hum in the distance grew a little louder, as if unseen machines were drawing closer, as if shadows were creeping slowly toward the farm. The alien woman's voice rose again, trembling, breaking. "Please, if you turn us away, they will find us. They will take him. Please, I beg you, human. I beg you as a mother, let my child live." The farmer's eyes went from the mother to the child, to the dark horizon where the sound came from. He felt his heart pound against his ribs. A choice was forming, a dangerous choice. The neighbors muttered, "Don't let them in. They will bring trouble. They are not like us. Send them away." But the farmer did not answer. He only stared at the shadow in the distance, a shadow that seemed to stretch longer, closer, darker. The night that had started in silence was now full of whispers, cries, and a sound growing louder with every passing second. The alien woman's words echoed again and again in the farmer's mind. "I'll even wash your pigs, just let my child into your farm." And as the lantern light flickered, and the distant hum grew nearer, the farmer realized that nothing about this night would be simple. Nothing about this night would ever be the same again. The gate was still closed, the night air heavy. The alien woman on her knees, her child pressed close to her chest, the farmer silent, his wife holding the lantern high, the neighbors whispering like the wind in tall grass. No one moved, no one spoke for a long moment. Only the hum from the distance rolled slowly through the air, steady and frightening, as if something large was searching. Hunting. Finally, the farmer spoke again, his voice hard but uneasy. Tell me why. Tell me what you are running from. Why my farm? Why not the town? Why not your own people? The alien woman lifted her face, her lips shaking, her eyes red with tears. Her voice came out weak, but every word carried the weight of 1,000 fears. My people will not protect us. They fear us, they fear him, my son. Because he is different, they would rather see him dead than alive. Humans are our only chance. I have heard stories. I have heard that humans protect children, even when the child is not their own. The farmer's wife drew in a sharp breath, because she felt the truth in those words, but the neighbors shook their heads, muttering, lies, tricks, aliens cannot be trusted. Send her away before we all pay the price. The child, thin and trembling, pulled at his mother's torn sleeve. He spoke in his own tongue, the sound soft like a bird's cry. The mother bent low, kissed his forehead and whispered back, her voice breaking, her arms tightening around him. The farmer saw that, and for a moment he forgot she was alien. He forgot her strange skin, her glowing eyes. He saw only a mother, afraid of losing the only thing that mattered to her. And he felt a stab of something he could not name. Different how? The farmer asked, his voice low, almost cautious. What is in this child that others would want him gone? The alien woman's hands shook as she pointed at the earth, the dry soil near the gate. She looked at her son and spoke in her tongue, gentle, urging. The boy hesitated, then slowly reached down with his small hand. The humans leaned forward, curious and afraid. The child pressed his palm against the cracked earth. For a moment, nothing happened. The neighbors snorted, see, nothing. A trick, but then softly, a glow spread from the boy's hand, a light that was not fire, not lantern, not machine. The soil moved. Small green shoots pushed through the ground, climbing higher, unfolding leaves in the night air. Gasps rose all around. The farmer's wife dropped her hand to her chest, whispering, life. He made life from dry ground. The neighbors backed away, some in awe, some in fear, their whispers turning sharp. This is not natural, this is dangerous, send them away before they curse us all. The child pulled his hand back quickly, hiding it against his chest, his eyes wide with fear, as if he knew his gift was not always welcome, as if he had learned that even miracles could bring hate. The alien woman clutched him close, her tears falling fast now. This is why they want him gone, because he carries life where there is none, because he heals what is broken. They call it a curse, they call it a danger, but it is only a gift, only a child's gift, and they will kill him for it. Please, only you, only humans, can keep him safe. The farmer's heart pounded. He looked at the new green shoots glowing in the lantern light, small and fragile but alive. He thought of the dry season when crops failed. He thought of hungry mouths, and he thought of this child who could make life grow from dust. But the neighbors' voices grew louder. This is trouble, this will bring soldiers. This will bring war. Do not be fooled by tricks. She is using you. The farmer clenched his jaw, his hands tightening around the wooden gate. The hum in the distance grew louder, closer, like heavy machines crawling over the land. The alien woman heard it too. Her whole body shivered. They are coming, she whispered, her voice almost lost in the night. They are close. They will find us if you close the gate. If you send us away, they will take him, and his gift will be gone forever. The farmer's wife stepped forward, holding the lantern closer to the boy, her voice softer than the night breeze. He is only a child. He is not dangerous. He is frightened. He is hungry. And he is someone's son. If it were our boy, would we not beg too? The farmer's throat tightened because he knew she was right. But the choice was heavy if he let them in. His farm could become a target. Soldiers could come. His neighbors could turn against him. Yet if he sent them away, he would be sending a child to death. The child looked up at him, eyes wide, glowing faintly with the same light that touched the earth. Eyes that carried both innocence and power. The farmer felt those eyes pierce through him as if the boy was silently asking, will you be the one to let me live? The hum from the horizon grew deeper. The night animals scattered. The neighbors stepped back in fear, some already closing their doors, afraid of being seen near this strange scene. The alien woman pressed her forehead against the dirt, her voice breaking apart into sobs. I will work for you until I die. I will clean your house, I will wash your pigs. I will sleep in the barn, only let him stay. Only let him breathe free air. The farmer's wife touched her husband's arm again. Her hand warm, her voice steady even as fear grew in her eyes. You must decide now, the shadows are coming closer. The farmer stared at the horizon. The sound now almost at the edge of his fields. His breath heavy, his hands trembling. He knew the next choice would change not just his life, but the life of everyone under his roof. And in that tense silence, with the stars watching above, and the machines crawling closer below, the farmer knew that the night was no longer his own. It belonged to fate, to danger, and to the desperate plea of an alien mother who would give up everything for her child. The hum was louder now, heavy and cold, rolling through the night like thunder that never broke. The alien woman still knelt in the dirt, her forehead pressed low, her child clinging to her. The farmer's wife holding the lantern high, her eyes full of worry. The neighbors already turning away, whispering that doom was coming. The farmer's heart beat like a hammer, his eyes shifting between the gate, the strange glowing shoots of life that the boy had called out of dry earth, and the dark horizon where lights now flickered faintly, red and white crawling closer like hungry eyes in the night. He had never felt such weight before. One choice, one door that could open or close, and whichever way he turned, nothing would be the same again. His wife's voice came soft but strong. If you close the gate, they will die. If you open the gate, we may suffer, but at least we will still be human. Her words struck him deep, because he knew what it meant. Being human was not just blood and bone. It was choice, it was mercy. It was protecting the weak even when it cost everything. The alien woman raised her face again, tears streaking her cheeks, her voice raw. Please, one chance, one night, one roof to hide under. That is all I ask. You are human, I know what that means. You do not turn away the helpless. The farmer looked down at the boy, the child's eyes wide, glowing faintly like soft lanterns. Afraid but unbroken, the boy said nothing, only pressed himself closer to his mother, his small hands gripping her torn clothes. The farmer's hand shook as he lifted the wooden gate, the sound of iron latch breaking the silence. The neighbors gasped, some cried out, "Fool! You bring danger to all of us, they will burn your fields. They will tear down your walls." But the farmer did not answer them. His voice was low, steady. My roof protects its own, and tonight, this child is under my roof, the alien woman gasped, covering her mouth with her hands, her tears falling faster. Her child clung tighter, and for a moment, hope shone in their broken faces. The farmer's wife stepped aside, guiding them in, her lantern lighting the path. She touched the boy's head softly, whispering, "You are safe now as long as this light burns. You are safe." Inside the barn, the smell of hay and animals filled the air. The farmer spread blankets on the ground, rough and simple but better than cold earth. The alien woman bowed low, whispering words of thanks in a tongue they could not understand, but the feeling was clear. It was gratitude as deep as the sea. The child sat quietly, looking around with wide eyes, touching the hay, the wooden beams, the gentle cow that leaned close, sniffing curiously. When he placed his hand on the animal's nose, a faint glow passed and the cow let out a soft sound, peaceful, calm, as if it had been touched by warmth. The farmer's wife saw it, her eyes widened. She whispered to her husband, "Do you see he heals not only the earth, but the living too?" The farmer nodded slowly, but his face was heavy because he knew gifts like this drew danger. Gifts like this made enemies outside. The neighbors muttered among themselves, "He is protecting them. He has chosen them over us when soldiers come. They will not spare him, they will not spare any of us." The farmer heard their voices, but he did not step out. He only sat near the barn door, his shotgun resting across his knees, his eyes fixed on the horizon where the hum grew louder. The alien woman sat close to her child, whispering stories in her tongue, her voice soft, soothing, the boy's eyes slowly closing. Though his small hands still trembled, he was safe for the first time, yet fear had not let go. The farmer's wife came to sit beside her husband, her voice low. "You did the right thing." But the farmer's eyes stayed on the horizon, where shadows now moved like crawling giants. "Right or wrong, we will know by sunrise," he said. His voice heavy, the hum became clearer. Engines, metal voices carried faintly on the wind. Organized hunting. The alien woman raised her head. She heard it too. Her lips trembled. "They are close, closer than I thought. They will not stop until they find us." The farmer gripped his shotgun tighter, his jaw clenched. "Then they will find me first." The wife placed her hand on his arm. Fear in her eyes, but also pride, she whispered. You are stubborn, but tonight that stubbornness may save a life. The boy stirred in his sleep, murmuring softly in his own tongue. His glow dimming and brightening like a fading candle. The alien woman stroked his hair, tears still shining. The farmer knew then that he had not just opened his gate. He had opened his life to something far larger, something that would not end with this night. And though fear pressed on him, there was also a strange fire inside, the fire of a choice made, a choice that felt human. The hum outside slowed, voices barked orders, beams of light cut through the darkness, searching, crawling across fields, across fences, across the night. The farmer rose, standing tall, shotgun steady in his hands, his wife holding the lantern high at his side, the alien woman clutching her child close in the barn. The night was no longer still. It was alive with danger, alive with decisions, and the farmer knew that his choice had already painted a mark on his door. And yet, as the first searchlight touched the edge of his field, he whispered under his breath, words only his wife could hear, "If being human means protecting even one child, then let them come." The night was no longer quiet. The hum had grown into a steady roar, shaking the very air. Beams of cold white light swept across the fields, crawling over fences, over trees, over frightened animals. The neighbors had all shut their doors, their lamps blown out, their whispers gone. Silence pressed on the colony as everyone hid from what was coming. The farmer stood by the barn door, shotgun heavy in his hands, his wife at his side, the lantern glowing weak against the distant floodlights. Inside the barn, the alien woman held her child close, her heart beating so loud she could barely hear the world outside. She whispered prayers in a tongue humans did not know, but every word carried fear and hope tangled together. The roar of engines stopped. The night went still. And then came the sound of boots. Many boots marching in rhythm, heavy, sharp, crushing the ground like thunder made of steel. The farmer's chest tightened, because he knew soldiers when he heard them. A voice rose from the darkness, amplified, metallic, echoing across the farm. By order of the Dominion, surrender the fugitives. An alien woman and her offspring harboring them is a crime, punishable by death. The alien woman shivered. Her child buried his face into her chest, muffling his small cry. Her tears soaked into his hair. She knew this voice. She knew the cruelty behind it. The farmer's wife gripped his arm, whispering, "They know she is here. Someone must have told them. Maybe the neighbors." The farmer's jaw tightened. He said nothing, his eyes fixed on the horizon where dark figures now appeared, armored, armed, moving in formation, their visors glowing red, their weapons pointed forward. The amplified voice called again, sharper, "Step aside, human. You have one chance. Give us the fugitives, or suffer with them." The farmer lifted his shotgun. The sound of it loading echoed in the night. His voice came out hard and steady. "This is my land, my roof, and anyone under it is mine to protect." The soldiers stopped. The silence stretched like a knife across the field. Then laughter broke from the amplified voice, cold and cruel. "You are brave, human, but also foolish. You cannot stop us. You cannot fight what is stronger than you." The farmer's wife raised the lantern high, her voice trembling but defiant. "Strength is not only guns and armor. Strength is standing for what is right." Inside the barn, the boy stirred, his small hands glowing faintly. The alien woman tried to calm him, whispering softly, "Stay still, my child. Do not show them, not yet. They will take you if they see." But the boy's glow grew stronger, as if his fear and his hope were both feeding it. The cows in the barn calmed. The pigs grew silent. Even the restless horses stilled. The glow spread across the barn like warm light from a hidden fire. The farmer turned his head for just a moment and saw it. Saw the boy's strange gift filling the barn with peace, and his heart ached because this was no curse, no danger. It was life itself, and they wanted to kill it. The soldiers stepped closer, their boots shaking the ground, their rifles raised. "Last warning, human, give them up, or be destroyed with them." The farmer stepped forward, his shotgun aimed, his voice firm. "Then you will have to destroy me first." The alien woman gasped, clutching her child tighter. Her tears falling faster, she whispered, "Why? Why do you risk yourself for us? We are not your kind." The farmer's wife answered, her voice steady, "Because being human is not about kind. It is about heart, and no heart can turn away a child who only wants to live." The soldiers spread out, surrounding the farm, lights sweeping across the barn, across the farmer's house, across the fields, animals restless again, shadows huge and frightening, the hum of machines starting once more, louder, closer. The alien woman closed her eyes, whispering, "They will not stop, they will search. They will break every door, every wall until they find us." The farmer knew she was right. He could hear the soldiers moving, their commands sharp and cold. His grip on the shotgun tightened, his mind raced. If they entered the barn, they would see the glow. They would take the boy, and no force in the world could stop them unless he acted, unless he stood firm. The boy opened his eyes, bright now like stars in a dark sky. He reached out toward the farmer, not with words, but with that silent question the farmer had seen before. "Will you protect me?" And in that moment, the farmer made another choice, not just to shelter, but to fight. He shouted across the field, his voice echoing, "This farm is under human law, not dominion law. You step 1 foot past this gate and you declare war with all of us." The soldiers hesitated, their red visors glowing, their weapons aimed, but his voice carried a weight, a fire, and even they paused inside the barn. The alien woman held her child tighter, whispering, "Do not fear, my son, tonight. The humans stand with us," but outside, the shadows pressed closer, the soldiers ready, the machines humming again, and the farmer knew. This night was only the beginning. The silence before the storm was heavy. The soldiers of the Dominion stood like shadows in armor, their red visors glowing, their rifles steady, the hum of their machines louder now, shaking the ground beneath the farmer's boots. The barn behind him glowed faintly with the soft light of the alien child, and the neighbors stayed hidden in their houses, afraid to be seen, afraid to be part of this night. The amplified voice called again, sharp as broken metal. "This is your last chance. Human, hand them over or fall with them." The farmer raised his shotgun higher, his wife holding the lantern beside him, her face pale but her jaw firm. He shouted back, "You may have armor, you may have guns, but you will not take a child from my roof." A low laugh came from the soldiers. Then boots stomped forward, breaking the silence, weapons raised. The farmer's wife gasped, clutching his arm. The alien woman inside the barn pulled her child closer, whispering prayers, the boy's glow growing brighter with his fear. The first soldier stepped past the gate, heavy boots sinking into the soil. The farmer fired, the sound cracked the night. The shot hit the armored chest, sparks flew. The soldier stumbled but did not fall. Another step forward, more rifles aiming. The neighbors screamed from their windows, some shouting, "Stop! You'll bring death on us all." Others shouting, "Stand firm, don't let them take him." The soldiers opened fire, red beams cutting across the night, striking wood, tearing fences, burning into the barn wall. Animals cried out, pigs squealed, cows stamped in panic. The farmer and his wife ducked low, the lantern swinging wildly, the smell of smoke already rising. The alien woman shielded her son with her body, the boy trembling, his glow so strong now it painted the barn in soft gold. One beam of fire struck close, splintering wood above their heads. The mother cried out but held him tighter. The farmer fired again, aiming at the soldier's head. The shot cracked the visor, the red glow shattered. The soldier fell hard into the dirt. Silence for a moment. Then the soldiers roared. Rushing forward in formation, the farmer's wife grabbed more shells, loading his shotgun with shaking hands. Hold, don't let them in," she cried. The soldiers stormed the gate, their boots pounding. The farmer stood firm, firing again and again, each blast echoing, some soldiers falling, others pushing closer. The ground lit with flashes, the barn trembling with every strike inside. The boy lifted his small, glowing hands, tears streaming down his face. He pressed them against his mother's chest, whispering words in his own tongue. The light spread from his hands, wrapping her in warmth, her wounds closing, her breath steadier. The boy's gift pouring life even as death reigned outside. The farmer's wife saw the glow through the barn slats. Her eyes widened. He is healing her even in fear. He gives life, she whispered. But the soldiers saw it too, their leader barked. There, the source, take the child. Kill the rest. They stormed harder, their rifles blazing. The farmer's arms shook with each shot, but he did not step back. He shouted to his wife, "Go, hide in the barn. Guard them." She shook her head fiercely. "No, I stay with you. If we fall together." The soldiers reached the gate, heavy hands tearing at the wood. The farmer rammed the shotgun against the first one, firing point blank, the blast throwing the armored figure back into the night. The gate cracked, splinters flying inside. The boy cried out, his glow bursting brighter. Spreading through the barn, the earth beneath began to move. Green shoots breaking through the floor, wrapping around beams, crawling like vines. The barn filled with life, unstoppable, wild. The soldiers froze for a moment, staring. What is this? What power is this? The alien woman looked at her son, her tears endless. My child, you are the seed of tomorrow. Even if we die tonight. The farmer felt the earth shift under his boots, vines curling around fallen soldiers, holding them tight, the boy's gift spilling beyond the barn. The soldiers panicked, firing wildly, but the more they fired, the stronger the growth became. The farmer fired his last shot, the soldier at the gate fell. He grabbed an axe from the wall, his chest heaving, his wife holding the lantern high. "We are not done," he growled. The soldiers regrouped, shouting commands, aiming at the barn. Their leader roared, "Burn it, burn them all. Leave nothing." They raised their rifles, beams glowing hot, but before they could fire, the vines surged higher, wrapping their arms, tearing weapons from hands, dragging them down into the dirt. The boy's glow shone brighter than ever. Painting the night in gold, the farmer turned, his eyes wide, awe breaking through his fear. "This child," he whispered, "he is not a curse. He is hope itself." The alien woman fell to her knees, sobbing with both fear and pride. They will never stop. They will come again. More of them. But tonight he has shown them he is not weak. He is not theirs to destroy. The soldiers that survived scrambled back, retreating to their machines, dragging their wounded, their leader glaring with burning hate through his cracked visor. "This is not the end, human. The Dominion does not forgive," engines roared. Lights swept back into the darkness, leaving the farm broken. The fences torn, the barn scarred, but still standing, still alive. The farmer dropped his axe, his chest rising and falling. His wife leaned against him, her lantern dim but still burning. The alien woman held her son close, kissing his glowing head, whispering, "You lived, my child. You lived." The night fell quiet again, but it was not the same quiet. It was heavy with the promise of more battles, more danger, yet also with something new, something stronger. The seed of defiance. And the farmer knew as he looked at the glowing child that this fight was far from over. It had only begun. The night after the battle was heavy with smoke, the ground torn, fences broken, barn walls burned with black marks, animals restless in their pens. The farmer's hands blistered from the fight. His wife's lantern burned low but steady. The alien woman sat close to her son, her arms wrapped around him. His glow faint now, his small chest rising and falling as he slept in her lap. The soldiers had retreated, but their words echoed still. "This is not the end. The Dominion does not forgive." The neighbors came out at last, their faces pale, their eyes wide, some angry, some fearful, some ashamed. They gathered near the broken gate, muttering to one another, their voices sharp like knives in the night. "You brought danger to us all," one man shouted. "They will come again, stronger, and when they do, it will be because of you," another woman cried. But not all voices were against him. A few spoke softer, hesitant. He stood against them, when none of us did. He fought for a child. When we hid in our homes, the farmer stood in silence, his shotgun empty now, his axe leaning against the wall, his face dark with smoke and sweat. His wife stood at his side, her eyes fierce though her hands shook. The alien woman bowed low, whispering, "I am sorry. I did not want to bring this war to your door. But they will never stop. They will come again. They will send more, until my son is gone." The farmer looked down at the sleeping boy, at the faint glow still pulsing from his hands. He remembered how the earth had sprung to life, how vines had wrapped soldiers, how the barn had shone like a beacon of hope, and he knew the truth. "This child is not a curse," he said loudly, his voice cutting through the angry mutters. "He is a gift, he is life, and if they want him gone, it is because they fear what he is, they fear hope itself." The neighbors shifted uneasily, some shaking their heads, some looking away, some staring at the boy with something new in their eyes, not just fear but wonder. The farmer's wife raised the lantern higher, her voice calm but strong. "We all saw what he did. He healed, he gave life. He fought without hatred. He is no threat to us, unless we choose to make him one." A silence stretched long and deep, until at last an old man stepped forward, his cane tapping the dirt, his voice rough. "When the Dominion came, I hid, I was afraid, but I saw this child stand against them with nothing but light. And I saw you stand, farmer, when we all turned away. Perhaps it is not you who should be ashamed, but us." The crowd stirred, whispers turning softer, less angry, some nodding slowly, some lowering their heads. The alien woman wept silently, her tears falling on her son's hair. "You do not know what it means to me, to hear words of kindness after so many years of fear. After so many doors closed, you are more human than any I have met." But the farmer raised a hand, his voice still heavy. Do not mistake, the danger is not over. The Dominion will return, and when they do, it will not be only my farm they threaten. It will be the whole colony, every field, every house, every life. This child has made a mark, and they will not stop until it is erased. The neighbors looked at each other, their fear clear, but also their shame, because they knew he was right. The boy stirred in his mother's arms, his eyes half opening, glowing faintly once more. He whispered something in his tongue, soft and weak, his small hand reaching toward the farmer. The farmer knelt, taking that hand gently in his rough palm. He did not understand the words, but he felt the meaning. The warmth spreading into his chest, a promise, a bond. He rose again, his voice stronger now. This child is under my roof, and my roof protects its own. If the Dominion comes again, they will find not just me, but every human who remembers what it means to be human. We stand for life, even if it costs us everything. The crowd grew silent. No one spoke, but the words hung heavy in the night, the turning of something unseen. A seed planted in their hearts. The alien woman looked up, her face shining with both tears and pride. You have done more than save my son. You have shown your people their strength, and that is something the Dominion will never understand. The farmer's wife squeezed his hand, whispering, You are stubborn, but tonight, your stubbornness has become their courage. The night slowly gave way to dawn, the first light painting the broken fields in gold, smoke rising still, the barn scarred but standing, the boy's glow blending with the rising sun. The neighbors drifted back to their homes, quiet, thoughtful, unsure of the future, but changed. The farmer stood tall, his wife at his side, the alien woman and her son under his roof. And though fear still lingered, something new burned stronger. Not just fear, but defiance, not just survival, but hope. And the farmer knew that this was the turning point. The moment when his small farm had become more than land, more than fences, more than animals. It had become a stand, a shield, a spark. And sparks once lit could spread across worlds. The sun rose over the broken farm, the smoke of battle still drifting through the air. The fences torn, the barn scarred, the earth marked by heavy boots and fire. Yet in the middle of this ruin stood the farmer, his wife, the alien woman, and her child. The boy's faint glow mixing with the golden light of morning. But peace did not last long because the Dominion had not gone far. Their retreat had only been a pause, a promise of something bigger by midday. Shadows appeared again on the horizon, ships cutting across the sky like black knives, engines roaring, the ground shaking. The neighbors gathered this time, no longer hiding, no longer silent, their faces pale with fear, but their eyes watching, waiting, knowing that the moment had come. The Dominion was returning for the child, and with them came the choice of every human in the colony. The alien woman clutched her son, whispering into his ear, They are coming, but do not be afraid, because tonight you are not alone. The farmer stood tall, his shotgun reloaded, an axe strapped to his back. His wife beside him holding the lantern even in daylight. Her face fierce, the neighbors slowly stepping forward, carrying tools, rifles, even simple sticks, their fear heavy but their resolve growing. The Dominion ships landed, their metal doors opening, lines of soldiers marching out, stronger, larger, more dangerous than the first group. Weapons glowing red, voices sharp as blades. The commander stepped forward, his armor black, his visor burning with crimson light, his voice cold and cruel. Humans, you have broken the law. You have sheltered fugitives. You have resisted the Dominion. Surrender the child, or be erased. The crowd shivered, some stepped back. But then the old man with the cane, the one who had spoken the night before, raised his voice rough but unshaken. We are not yours to erase. This child is not yours to take, and if you want him, you will have to walk over all of us. A murmur rose, stronger this time. Not whispers of fear, but voices of courage. The neighbors lifted their tools and rifles, their eyes hard, their voices joining as one. He is under our roof, and our roof protects its own. The commander laughed, a sound like iron breaking. You think your sticks and weak guns can stop us. You think your defiance is strength. But the farmer stepped forward, his voice steady as stone. Strength is not armor, strength is not fire. Strength is standing for a child even when death is near, and that is something you will never understand. The soldiers raised their rifles, red light burning. The crowd braced, hearts pounding, fear thick, but no one stepped back, no one ran. The boy stirred in his mother's arms, his small hand reaching out, his glow brighter now, spreading across the farmer, across his wife, across the crowd. Vines rose again from the soil. green life breaking through the broken ground, curling around feet, wrapping posts, blooming flowers even under the shadow of death. The Dominion soldiers hesitated, their formation breaking for the first time, fear flickering behind their visors because what they saw was not weakness, not surrender, but life itself standing against them. The alien woman whispered through her tears, "My child, they see you, they see your gift, but more than that. They see the humans who would die for you," the commander roared, raising his blade. "Fire, burn them all." But before the first shot could strike, the crowd surged, not with fear but with fury. Hammers, axes, rifles, bare hands striking, humans crashing against armored soldiers. The sound of defiance shaking the air. The boy's glow spilling wider, vines wrapping weapons, bending barrels, animals in the farm crying out as if joining the fight. The farmer swung his axe, cutting through armor. His wife smashed lantern oil onto the ground, flames roaring. Neighbors fought with every ounce of strength. And though the Dominion soldiers were stronger, faster, better armed, the humans did not break. The commander pushed forward, striking down men and women. But every time one fell, another stepped up. Every time a rifle blazed, a hand grabbed it, pulled it down, broke it. The boy's glow became blinding, wrapping the humans in warmth, healing their wounds, giving them strength. Every touch of his hand brought life back to broken bodies. The commander stared, his voice shaking for the first time. "This is impossible. No child has such power. No human has such courage." The farmer stepped forward, blood on his face, fire in his eyes. "This is what it means to be human. And this is why you will never win." The commander swung his blade. But vines surged, wrapping his arm, breaking metal, dragging him down. The boy lifted his glowing hand, and the earth itself rose, swallowing the Dominion leader. Pulling him into the soil, his final scream cut short. The soldiers, leaderless, fell back, their formation broken, their weapons useless. They fled to their ships, engines roaring, ships lifting into the sky, leaving behind smoke and silence. The crowd stood battered, bleeding, but alive, their voices rising in a roar, not of fear but of victory, a sound that shook the sky itself. The alien woman fell to her knees, holding her son high, her voice breaking with joy and sorrow. "You are safe, my child, because humans stood for you, because they showed what no empire could ever crush." The farmer's wife knelt beside her, touching the boy's glowing hand, tears streaming down her face. "You are not just safe, little one, you are family now." The farmer stood tall, looking at his people, at the neighbors who had once doubted him, who had once whispered in fear. Now standing together, their tools raised, their faces proud, he spoke, his voice carrying across the field. "Remember this night, remember what we fought for. Not land, not walls, not even our own lives, but for a child, for hope, for what it means to be human." The crowd answered with cheers, their fear gone, their hearts burning. The boy's glow softened, fading as he fell asleep in his mother's arms. Peaceful at last, the farm quiet again, but not broken, stronger than before. And as the sun set on that long day, the humans knew that they had done more than protect a child. They had lit a fire that would spread across stars, a fire that would tell every world, every empire, that when humans stand, they stand not for power, not for conquest, but for spirit, for love, for life. And that was something no Dominion would ever erase.